All right, we're going to get started in here on monetizing social media. We have a stellar panel. So I'm going to hand things over to my friend Julie, who is from Havas PR. Havas PR's New England office.
Hi, my name is Julie Hall. I'm the Managing Director of Havas PR New England, right here in Boston. Havas, if you're not familiar with them, are one of the largest advertising holding companies in the world. I think we're number 5 or 6 right now. Here in Boston, we own Arnold Advertising, which you've probably heard of. We've got 312 offices in 76 countries, and I'm really glad to be here. You know, when they first asked me to moderate this panel, I was like, yeah, social commerce, I got this covered. This is, totally cool. I know what's going on. And then a little something happened on the Grammys. I don't know if you guys saw what TripAdvisor did for Oreo, which we'll talk about a little bit, where they actually created what they called transactional activated TV ads. And if you use that hashtag in your conversations, you were going to get one of the first shipments of Oreo's new cookie dough flavored Oreo cookies. So they sold out before the Grammys even hit the West Coast. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's the thing I love about social and just about marketing in general. Things change so quickly, you can never be an expert. Everything changes so rapidly. So we've got some experts here today. We've got three excellent people to talk about the topic. First, my good friend Jamie Tedford. We had a run together at Arnold back in the 90s. And Jamie is the COE stories. What happened at Arnold stays at Arnold. So Jamie is the founder and CEO of Brand Networks, a company that you've probably heard a lot about. Then we also have Jeff Esposito here, and Jeff is from Vistaprint, and also was just, I found from my research, named Community Manager of the Year. Oh, it was? Okay. The power of social media, right? Is yours on? I don't know if yours is on. No? Yours is on. Yeah, okay. And we also have one of our 2 Adams today. I know that if some of you were expecting Adam Lasky, his wife is giving birth, so we decided to cut him a break and said that it's okay. A little lame, right? But so we have Adam Medros here, who's VP of Global Product from TripAdvisor. Right. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about what you do? Why don't I read? First, I thought I would just kind of set the stage and read the abstract of what we're going to learn about. More and more consumers are turning to social media as a discovery tool in the early stages of the buying cycle and as a customer service vehicle post-purchase. Savvy and innovative marketers are filling the gap and leveraging social media to drive commerce. In this session, we'll hear from marketers who have proven results that demonstrate the ROI of their company's social media efforts. So, in reading that, I thought another name for this session could really be, turning conversations into conversions or turning conversations into cash. Show me the money. So, Jamie, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Brand Networks offers a solution to this conundrum?
Sure. Is this on? Yeah. Jamie Tedford, I'm founder and CEO of Brand Networks. We're a Boston-based company that essentially helps big brands tackle social media. We are one of 13 SPMDs, Strategic Preferred Marketing Developers, a lot of acronyms for Facebook. We're one of, I think, 9 companies that have Twitter API ads access, and we're one of 7 certified developers for LinkedIn. So when I find myself out and talking to people, I often find myself sort of playing the part of those platforms because we spend a lot of time with them and try to understand how and why they're monetizing. And specifically, I guess for this panel, I'll probably at least talk a little bit about what their solutions are and how my company helps brands sort of tackle and drive e-commerce through those platforms.
And some of the brands you work with are little household names like.
Yeah, we work with American Express and Walmart and Target and some others who are very vested in this.
Great, thanks. Jeff?
I'm Jeff Esposito. I'm the social media manager at Vistaprint. For those that don't know, we're a Dutch company with our U.S. offices based in Lexington, Massachusetts. We produce custom marketing materials for micro businesses, which are the 1 to 10 employee businesses. I've been with the company now for 7 years. 6 of those years have been working in social media, so I've done everything from setting up the initial accounts to running customer service to marketing and community management.
Great, thanks.
I'm Adam Medros. I'm the head of product for TripAdvisor, and I'll probably have a slightly different point of view which is TripAdvisor. In many ways, you could look at us and say we are a social network, right? We're a social network focused on travel, and so less top of mind for me is how we're outwardly using other social networks like Twitter or to market, but more how we leverage a social network like Facebook or our own sort of notion of a social network to engage users when they're not in the travel planning cycle, right? Which is a lot, most of the time, most of the calendar, people are not actively taking a trip, but sort of nascently thinking about potential travel, or how when you are in travel planning, we try to leverage the notion of who you're connected to or who you might know that's also a TripAdvisor user to build a notion of social proof, to give you trust around the reviewing community and to really help you plan that trip better.
You know, that you're absolutely right. I think that is one of the unique features of TripAdvisor. You are a network in and of yourself in a lot of ways. How many people have used TripAdvisor to plan a trip? Wow, that's great. Nice job. Yeah.
You should ask who hasn't.
Yeah, who hasn't, right? Yeah, everybody has. So how do you, I mean, when you look at the whole cycle, that whole continuum, you want to get them before they're planning, you want to get them when they're actually taking the trip,
Right.
sharing photos, things like that, and then post.
Right.
So how are you able to manage throughout that entire cycle?
Yeah, historically, TripAdvisor's had this. TripAdvisor's been historically in the life cycle of helping you plan and to some extent book, and then helping you share, really come back, write reviews, post photos, and help the rest of the community in a wisdom of crowds kind of way. And two or three, I guess now it's going on 7 years ago, we started working on the Facebook platform. We built an app called Cities I Visited, and then that app turned into integrating Facebook Connect, and then it turned into integrating Facebook Instant Personalization, where now 1/3 of our reviews are from people that are Facebook connected, so they're sharing their Facebook credentials, and we get upwards of 70 reviews and opinions every minute added to the site globally. So 1/3 of those are being are with Facebook credentials connected, and what that means is that we can publish out into the open graph what your friends are doing and what they're reviewing, right? Which is going to bring you back in sort of on that vicarious, like, I wonder what my friends are doing. I want to get inspired about where I should go. But then when you come back in, you're going to see against all of our points of interest, to the extent your friends have connected and are active on TripAdvisor, you're going to see which of your friends have been to that restaurant or which of your friends have been to that hotel. And so the example I trot out all the time is if I'm going to Lima, Peru, which I'd love to go to, I go to the Lima, hotels page on TripAdvisor. There's 100 hotels to choose from, and some of my friends and some of my friends of friends have been to those hotels and have written reviews. And it's likely that I'm going to be able to first parse that and figure out, some of my friends, I value their opinions more than others, right? And so I can try to figure out, well, that friend's like me, maybe I'll stay there. But also, it just gives me a sense of, like, there are real people attached to these reviews. And that's not to say that you should fear that there aren't, right? But I think that just gets you over that hump. When you see that friend-connected content or that friend-to-friend connected content on TripAdvisor, people that see that, they contribute twice as much content. They spend about 27% more time on the site, so longer visits, and they generate more commerce. So that social proof really does result in more commerce, more activity, and then it becomes self-fulfilling, right? You come back, you contribute,
Right.
and you drive more traffic back.
Right. And I loved on the site that your favorite place to go is London, England, and we
Yeah.
share that in common.
It is one of my favorite places.
Right, it's a great city. You're absolutely right. I think that it brings it full circle, and connecting and feel like there's actually a person behind, makes a big difference. The one thing, when you look at the overall landscape of social commerce as it relates to social sites, and Jamie, this may be a question for you. I was shocked to see that IBM just released, they always do, or at least the past few years, the report that comes out right after Black Friday, saying only 1% of retail sales, or e-commerce sales, I should say, are from the social networks. I mean, what's going on here?
Well, I think there's a couple things happening. One is we don't really distinguish when we work with an omnichannel client whether we drive online or in store. And I think when you look at big box retail specifically, e-commerce is a relatively small part of their business. And so when they evaluate Black Friday as an example, they're really evaluating store sales. And so we've spent actually more of our time focused on that sort of link between what happens in social networks and how do we drive people to retail. And that's where I think right now is where the traction is. And so you've got a lot of really interesting companies like Datalogics and Epsilon and Axiom who have all this incredible store data because they're partners with retailers and they sort of share in this consortium of data. And so to the extent that you design a program that if you put a product in the news feed and geo-target it, you can now track that post all the way through the retail sale and not only see did you drive sales of that particular product at that particular store, we can actually look and see, and it's positive that we're actually driving lift in that aisle. So yes, e-commerce is important to retail, and that has always been a much more trackable and traceable medium by the nature of how the click path that you take from either an ad or some organic content. But I think we're just at the front end of figuring out how to track to retail sales, and that, in my opinion, is going to bring more dollars and more money into the ecosystem and spending specifically on advertising within social platforms.
Right, because retail's not going away. Bricks and mortar stores, despite what they say about showrooming, it's here to stay. I saw an interview you did with CRM Magazine where you talked about, I think it was your GoGo product offering. Yeah. And you talked a little bit about, and it made me think, all politics is local, all retail is local, all shopping is local. So that does sound like it dovetails with what you're saying now. Talk a little bit about how that is going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, if we all remember when Facebook started pages, every barista on the corner started their own Facebook page and started publishing. And actually,